Next question. I'm a musician, so a little bit different. I'm a musician, Australian musician, and I have a US type visa. Okay. That's a visa for foreign entertainers, right? So normally I fly back to Australia in between gigs, but now I prefer to remain in the US because of quarantine issues on return to Australia. What are the tax implications? So ordinarily speaking, from a US tax perspective, tax rules are different from immigration rules. What that means is that the immigration rules, so the visa that you use to enter, is less important than the tax rules, which speak to the amount of time you spend on US soil or US airspace. So it sounds as if you have triggered substantial presence. So I'm talking about Section 7701 of the U.S. tax code. So by virtue of you spending a certain amount of time in the U.S., it, just like Australia, is 183 days, but the calculation is a bit more esoteric, and in the sense that there's a look back period of a couple of years as well. So you speak to your tax professional. I won't get into the calculation right now, but it involves looking at your present year, which is 2020 plus 2021, sorry, plus 2020 plus 2019, right? And it's a ratio of 2020 and a ratio of 2019. So 1/3 and 1/6. And once you add it up and it exceeds 183 days, so once you hit a certain threshold in terms of time in the US, you'll be deemed to be US tax resident and subject to taxes on your worldwide income. Because as an entertainer, what you would have experienced before, when you were just flying in and out, before the present situation, of course, you would have been paid by the promoter and they would withhold, and they might give you a Form 1042-S to demonstrate that they withheld a certain amount and remitted that to the Internal Revenue Service. Sometimes they withhold too much, and then you would file a non-resident tax return to get a refund based on the Australia-US tax treaty, if it applies. But right now, if it is that you are not returning to Australia in between gigs, then you may trigger a substantial presence. So you'll be US tax resident and subject to taxes in your worldwide income. So that's, obviously it may have implications depending on your earnings in Australia itself, and that being exposed to US tax system. So I'll suggest again that you sit with your preferred advisor and get some planning done. It may not be too late, so have that conversation.
Please subscribe, like, share, and comment below. Our books and upcoming event are available at htj.tax. Email us at help@htj.tax to engage us, to advise on international tax or business matters.